When I originally got this vehicle, it had like new tires on it. And the reason why I say like new is, although they had very little mileage on them and very good tread, and they were nice looking tires, I couldn't find any cracks in them or anything. They had been in storage since 2000, end of 2008. And so by the time I got this rig ready to be on the road, basically the tires were 6 years old. And I decided that they looked good. I examined them and everything, and they seemed to be okay. So I was going to go ahead and make my trip to the Grand Canyon with them. I had one viewer, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he commented that in his comment that he wouldn't trust the tires because they were old. And so he actually proved out to be right, because on my canyon trips, my trip to the Grand Canyon with my parents, I had one tire get a bulge in it, tread separation, and so I had to buy a new tire in Williams. Yeah, it was Williams, Arizona, that we picked up the tire. And I ran that tire on the driver's front for the rest of the trip, and the rest of the trip was fine. Didn't have any trouble, but I was running a P225, and the rest of the tires on the rig were P255s, so they were wider. So I had one narrow tire on the front and wider. When I got back home, it was my goal to at least buy a pair of tires for the front, reduce the width down to 235s, and use that new tire that I'd got on the trip that my parents bought for me. Use that new tire as a brand new to replace the spare, because the spare was in pretty bad shape. Anyway, so I kept driving this rig locally. I mean, you get a flat tire locally, no big deal, right? But I did make a couple of trips up to my parents' house, which is about 350 miles round trip. On this last trip, I got about 100 miles from home, and the other front tire developed a tread separation and was hammering pretty hard. So I stopped. I went ahead and put the spare on, and then continued on my trip. I got 30 miles from my parents' house, and the other tire, the spare tire, went. I had some debris, tire debris, come off of a trucker in front of me, and then that spare tire picked up some of that. It wasn't in good shape anyways, and it come apart. So there I was on the freeway. It was no big deal. I have AAA, and I got towed to my parents' house. So I had saved up enough money to almost get a complete set of tires, but I was short. And so my dad, he went and bought me 2 brand new tires. And then on the way home, I stopped at the same place and picked up another set, so another pair. So I now have a whole complete new set of tires on this rig, and that makes you feel a lot better. But I guess the moral of the story is never run old tires, and pay heed to the commenters, because that one commenter had it right. Anyway, so now I have a 225 spare that's brand spanking new, so I feel a lot better than that, and I'll get the cover back on that. And then I have a brand new set of Goodyear Wranglers P235 75Rs on here, which is a little bit narrower than what I was running before. So and I've only put about 100 miles on them. They did just fine. So that's where it's at right now. I just wanted to make a quick video because I hadn't made a video for a while. I've ordered some front shocks. I'm going to put those on. And thanks for viewing. Happy trails.